Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome back to my kitchen. So it's about 8 degrees outside here, and we are covered up in snow and ice, getting more snow tomorrow. So I decided it was time to make a lovely soup and show you all how to do it as well. The recipe that we're doing today is homemade ramen, and I was thinking, what can we do together that will add value to your life in this new year, especially because New Year's resolutions are a real thing for a lot of people, and they can be tricky to keep because you didn't get new information, you just made a resolution. So I thought we could do this recipe together. It might be new information for you and will help you keep some of those resolutions you made. Maybe to eat healthier, eat more vegetables, spend less eating out, meal prep. So this checks all of those boxes, not to mention it is delicious. Home economy is a very important thing to me. It's something I learned in middle school, and it has stuck with me. It frames the way I think about grocery shopping, about what I prepare to eat each week. And I found a fabulous deal at Sam's Club a couple of days ago. You know, they make those beautiful rotisserie chickens, and if they have any left over, they'll take the chickens apart, take the meat off, and sell either all white meat or all dark meat. These 4 boneless chicken breasts, cooked rotisserie chicken style, weigh upside down, it's 2 pounds, 63 ounces, no, 2 pounds, 6 ounces. Yeah, I can do that. And it was only $3.98. You can't buy chicken and cook it for that price. So this is a great deal, and it's what I love to use when making my ramen soup because it's already cooked. You just cut it up into little bits, and we're going to actually meal prep some ramen jars that you can take to work, send with your husband. If your kids, say high schoolers, if they have a microwave and they're allowed to take glass jars, they can have a fabulous, healthy lunch, and it's going to cost you pennies. So I'm going to show you how to prep all of the ingredients first to do and kind of assembly line for your ramen jars, and then show you how we're going to do the chicken after we've done all of our vegetables. I like to separate my veggie prep from my protein prep. So we're going to get started with, I have washed all of my vegetables except the cilantro because I wanted you to see that if you keep a glass with some water in it in the door of your refrigerator, you can have fresh cilantro that's vibrant, not wilty. This will last for a couple of weeks. Really, cilantro doesn't last that long in our house, but it will last as long as you need until you've used it up. So that's a great tip to save money and not be throwing away your herbs every week, like, oh man, I didn't use the rest of that and it's bad. So save money, just keep them in some water in the door of the fridge and you'll be glad that you did. So we have our red pepper. Now, I love the red pepper in this ramen, but I want it sliced really, really thinly so that it's not overpowering and it cooks in the same amount of time as these other very thin julienne cut vegetables. So I'm going to take a slicer. This slicer has 3 settings and this handy hand guard, which is super important. But I'm just going to put the pepper on here. And I like to make a little thin cut to make a flat spot. If you have the little rounded bottom, sometimes as it hits the straight blade of a mandolin, it will create enough resistance with the skin that it'll pull your vegetable out. And that's not really safe for your fingers. So better to make a little cut on the bottom to flatten that guy out. And then you take your pepper. You might be saying, but Raina, what about the seeds? Well, I'm going to show you. So these lovely little bitty thin shavings of red pepper. I'm going to make 2 of these bowls or jars. So I'm only going to use about half of this red pepper. I'll save the other half for, say, salad tomorrow night. And what you'll notice is I didn't even make it down to the seeds. So I have no seeds in my little slices. And if I did, I would take this over to the sink, rinse them out, and all the seeds would be gone and we'd be ready to rock. So there's your very thin sliced red peppers. And then I'll just hit them with the knife to cut them into some smaller pieces before I put them in our jars. So the story about bok choy, I have tried multiple ways, but you need to cut the bottoms off of your bok choy and clean out inside. It's a lot like celery in that you're gonna get some dirt down inside those little crevices that have been, because it's a root vegetable, and so you're gonna get some dirt down inside the inside of the leaves. So best practice is just to cut the bottoms off, which I have done, break them apart so that you can get any dirt that's trapped in between, and just thinly slice them with a sharp knife. So here we are with some nice, I just use the white part until we get up to the kind of leafy stem area, and then I'm done with that. And to clear a spot, just take a prep bowl and move that guy into the bowl. Okay, we'll do this with our second one. Nice and thin. Take our baby bok choy, nice and thinly sliced, and set it aside in a bowl. So what we're going to be doing is assembling some jars for meal prep. And if you have bowls that you can just place each of the ingredients in, then you, however many you need to prep at one time, just take the measured amount that you need, put it in your jar, keep moving down the line. So that's a good meal prep tip. And it just takes a few bowls set out to make this task super quick and easy. I have a fantastic peeler. I've tried this in different, using different tools as well. This is a julienne peeler, and all I'm gonna do, I've already peeled this carrot and washed him, but basically I'm combing the hair off of the carrot, so we're getting these beautiful little shreds, little long julienne pieces of carrot. As I turn the carrot, you have kind of a you keep it from whittling down and losing the ability to get the last bits of carrot. So just keep turning a little bit after each pass. Again, these are going to cook quite nicely and quickly. We want, if you're going to use your slicer, you can on carrots, and your mandolin, and just slice them as thin as you can. Your ginger. Fresh ginger is very inexpensive at the grocery store. If you buy a, say, 4-inch piece, kind of looks like a root of a tree, it's a root. And you'll only need about the size of your thumb. So what I will do is take over a bowl, and I've already peeled this thumb-sized piece of ginger. We're just going to microplane this into a bowl, and what you have is a beautiful aromatic that isn't going to give you chunks that you might bite into. But I'm here to tell you, fresh is always best, and it's cheaper. Just buy a knuckle of ginger, keep it in your fridge. It'll be good for a couple, 3 weeks. And then if you left it in there too long, just go get another piece. It's like 39, 49 cents for that size of a piece of ginger. So you haven't lost much if you didn't get to it or if you didn't finish it. All right, so there we have our lovely microplaned ginger root. As you have seen before, if you've watched me, I love to use my kitchen shears for herbs. I think they're a great application, and herbs can be tricky when you're dicing them with a knife. I find that they're so delicate sometimes you don't get a good thorough cut through, And I don't have time for that. So I love to just use my kitchen shears and put them right into a bowl for use. I have washed these, and I know I mention this all the time, but you need to wash your produce when you bring it home or before you use it from the grocery store, because that produce has been handled by many people, from the people picking to the people packaging to the people stocking at the grocery store, and the chances of one or all of those people not having washed their hands is pretty high. So just wash all of your produce before you prep with it. All right. Oh, and we'll take some of our cilantro. I'm gonna put that in the same bowl, but I need to rinse this guy off, right? Now the fresh green onions and cilantro, if you're doing this on the stove top, if you're not making jars and you're just making a pot on the stove, you would add this after all the vegetables have cooked and the noodles, the ramen noodles have cooked, just to preserve that bright pop of flavor. As it is, they're going to be great in our jars, but you know, the whole point of prepping is that it's all completely done, and then you're just going to be adding hot water to it when you're ready to eat it. A couple of things about ramen. Great restaurants, ramen restaurants will serve maybe a lime wedge, some fresh basil, sriracha, which will go in this base, the soup base. So there are a lot of ways to spice up or add the flavors that you love in your ramen. Feel free to play around with it a little bit and make it your own. This is the ramen that I've been making for a while, and we all love it. My 10-year-old grandson just crows about it. So it's great to be able to make something that makes him feel like he's a grown-up eating some fabulous thing that he really enjoys. So we're going to go ahead and do our chicken. Since I'm only doing 2 jars, we're going to just do 1 large chicken breast, and the rest I will dice up and put in freezer, quart-sized freezer bags for use in future batches of ramen. So it's already prepared. All I have to do is get out the soup base ingredients and then prep the vegetables. So half the work is already done, and it couldn't be any easier. Right? And again, remember, we don't want huge chunks of anything. So nice small pieces of chicken, because this is probably going to come out of the refrigerator at your workplace or wherever. And you're going to want everything to heat up thoroughly and your noodles to cook. So nice small pieces are the order of the day. The vegetable that I don't have to prep are some frozen mukamami. I should have looked that up before I started talking. They are shelled edamame beans. So these are just the beans, no husks. They're already prepared, and we're just going to use, now this we measure with our heart here. My husband loves these little guys, so I think the recipe calls for a 1/4 cup edamame, mukamame beans, but I'll probably put more like 1/2 cup in each jar. So again, go with your taste and what fits in your jar. If you overpack your jar, you're not going to be happy with the results. So less is more, but I promise you will be super excited about it. Again, just gonna hit these red peppers so that they're smaller, more manageable, and again, they're super thin and ready to go in the bowls. I noticed that we had mushrooms in the recipe, And I don't always have mushrooms on hand, and I don't always remember to get them, but happen to have some. They're a little on the tired side, but they're gonna be okay for our purposes. So I washed them. Just gonna take the long part of the stems off, and I have a super cool cup slicer. I love to be able to have my grandchildren help me with food prep, and this is a safe way to do that. Just take your cup slicer. It's got a great serrated blade down there, and leave the base. Push those through, and we will go ahead and just put that next to red peppers. So we have some nice sliced mushrooms and red peppers. So here we will assemble our jar. I want you to see this well. With the soup base, we're going to put that at the bottom. So your soup base and seasonings will go at the bottom. Then it will have your chicken layer, and then your vegetables, and then noodles all the way at the top. So the liquids, the soup base, the oil, the miso, the sriracha, and soy sauce, they're not going to touch your vegetables and make them soggy. So that will help you store them in the refrigerator for a couple of 3 days until you can use them. So we have this is a great little measuring device. So if you don't have a small measuring cup that measures tablespoons, you really need one. This is super helpful, especially for something that's kind of an odd in-between measurement. This is a tablespoon and a half, so you would need to dirty two spoons or one little cup. We're going to add some toasted sesame oil. Gives it a really lovely depth of flavor. Quarter of a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now this is where you need to be careful. If you're a wimp like I am, sriracha can sneak up on you and you can overdo. So this calls for a teaspoon. If you you like it hotter, go for it. Just increase maybe by a quarter of a teaspoon, half a teaspoon. Don't just double it straight out of the gate unless you know that you're up for that. Now miso, I ordered this from Amazon because what I was finding just at my local grocery store was just it was kind of a fast miso. It didn't have the depth of flavor, and it was super expensive. So this tub of, it's over a pound, was really inexpensive comparatively. So I find if you shop around, you can do better on certain things, and that's the miso paste. You can do better online. So we have a tablespoon of miso. Get him in there. And we'll just do that. Now we're going to measure out. This soup base is fantastic. Better than bouillon is something I've been using for years because it's better than bouillon, and they have 3 different flavors: beef, chicken, and vegetable. This is so tasty, and it's not like your grandma's cubes of bouillon that could, I think they stay good in the cabinet for 37 years. So this is after you open it, refrigerate it. But it's a wonderful addition to many dishes, soups being one of them, but there are other uses for it. I'm sure we'll discuss that in the future. Okay, now we can go ahead and give the base a bit of a stir. Double check soy sauce, miso, garlic powder, sriracha, vegetable soup base, sesame oil, and then we'll put in our ginger. That's gonna make the base of our delicious ramen. This is the richest, most flavorful, hearty ramen that I have ever had, and I enjoy making it. It's a proud moment when people taste it and kind of get that like, oh, it's so good, roll your eyes. It's like, yeah, it is. Here's our base. And chicken first. This measurement, that was about 1.5 cups of chicken, so we'll try to do about 3/4. All right, now we have chicken chunks, edamame, bok choy. Look how beautiful these colors are. I love to eat. I'm a Californian by birth, and colorful food is just something that we always had. Lots of fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, and just it's like art on a plate. It tastes great, it's good for you, and I just love being able to enjoy beautiful food. So I'm gonna take some of our green onions and some cilantro, put that in on top of these greens. It smells delicious. And carrots. You hungry yet? I am, because it smells incredible. And we have mushrooms and peppers. Look at that, how beautiful is that? Doesn't that look amazing? Okay, now we have our peppers and rice noodles. So these are from Costco, and I found them at my local grocery. I think a package of 4 was like $6. It was a lot. Then I went to Costco, found a package of 12 for, I think it was under $10. Whatever it is, it was a steal. And so we'll take one of these guys and break it up and put it on top of our jar. This is a millet brown rice ramen noodle. So it's whole grain, wonderful, great if you are gluten-free, and it's good for you food. Instead of, most ramen noodles are so highly processed, there's no nutrients left, and they're intentionally to cook fast, so there's no, it gets soft really fast, but there's no nutritional grain left. So these beautiful brown rice millet noodles, they're delicious, and I find that they are just the best ramen noodles that I've had. So we're gonna break that guy. There we go, to fit him in. Okay, so you can see how proud you would be to pull this out at work and be like, yeah, I'm going to the break room to boil some water in the microwave and make ramen. Look at that, isn't it beautiful? Look at how gorgeous. Those colors, the flavors, and of course tweak, add whatever it is that really says ramen to you, and let me know how you like it. So what you're going to add is 3 cups of boiling water to your mason jar and allow that to sit say 5 minutes. Now, if you find that your noodles aren't quite there, put the entire contents, if your lid can't be microwaved, leave the lid off. Put it in the microwave for a minute or 2 just to finish off the cooking process. You know, depending upon how cold it is, it may or may not, the boiling water may or may not do its job. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you let me know how you like it. And I hope it helps you keep your New Year's resolutions to yourself. Eating well, maybe eating out less, maybe some meal prep, or just doing something for your spouse that shows that you love them on a daily basis by providing a beautiful lunch to go.